Okay, the questions on this page are really just applied simultaneous equations questions, really, with a real-life context. And this is the way they like to ask them. Really, if you haven't mastered the techniques used on the last 2 pages, you should probably go back and do more of those first. There's tons of videos out there on YouTube. There's the Maths Watch clips, Cool with Maths clips. There really hasn't been a time where there's more out there that you could practice and find help with on these. They're a very common topic. But anyway, I'll crack on with these ones. Hopefully you've got a good understanding of them already, and this will just be showing you how to turn a wordy question into a simultaneous equations question. Okay, so number 6, it says the sum of Rosemary's age and Hannah's age is 102 years. Well, first we need to decide on a variable letter for Rosemary's age. Surely it would make sense to go with R, and 1 for Hannah's age, and let's say H, because I don't want to use A for both of these. And it says the sum of those is 102 years old. So there's my first equation. Oops. Might as well start with R plus H equals 102. Okay, and then it says the difference between Rosemary's age and Hannah's age is 52 years. Now the difference is found by subtracting the smaller from the larger. So this next bit of information is very important. Rosemary is older than Hannah. So taking away the smaller age, Hannah, in other words, R minus H is equal to 52. So there's our set of simultaneous equations that we need to solve this. We're going to label them 1 and 2, and now we're just going to tackle it like any other simultaneous equations problem. And we're going to come back to thinking of it as a real life sort of thing at the end. So how do I eliminate either the R's or the H's here? Well, 2 different things I could do here. I could eliminate the R's by subtracting, because they're both positive, or I could eliminate the H's by adding, because they are opposite signs. But I'm going to subtract, so I'm going to do equation 1 minus equation 2. So that will eliminate the R's. H, take away negative H, would give me 2H. And 102 minus 52 is 50. And when I divide that by 2, we find that Hannah's age is 25. I'm just going to show that my working comes up here. We're now going to sub that into the first equation to find Rachel's age, sorry, Rosemary's age. So R plus 25 is equal to 102. So if we take away 25 from 102, R must be 77. And that's it. Okay, number 7. 5 adult tickets and 3 child tickets for a movie cost £58. So I'm going to call the cost of an adult ticket A, and they've just told me that 5 adult tickets, and the cost of a child ticket I'm going to call C, and they just said 3 child tickets, and in total that costs £58. There's my first equation, and 2 adult tickets, so 2A, plus 8 child tickets, so 8C, is equal to £47. And I'm going to call that equation 2. Okay, none of these variables are ready to be got rid of because they're not the same, so I'm going to try and make my A's the same. And to do that, I'm going to try and aim for 10A. So I need to multiply this first equation by 2 and the second equation by 5. Okay, so that will give me 10A. In fact, I'll write it over here. Plus 6C equals 116. And if I multiply this by 5, I'm going to get 10A plus 40C is equal to 235. Okay, and I'm going to call these equations 3 and 4 respectively. So my A's are ready to be got rid of. They're the same sign, so I need to do a subtraction, and it would make sense if I did equation 4 take away equation 3. Okay, so the A's are gone. 40C take away 6C is 34C, and 235 take away 116 is 119. Okay, and hopefully that's divisible by 34. A little think. I might need to use a calculator here. Yeah, that gives 3.5 or £3.50 in this context, because we're talking about the cost of cinema tickets. And then we're going to come up here We're going to sub that in to one of the equations, which is the easiest one, probably equation 1. So 5 adult tickets plus 3 lots of that, which would be £10.50, equal 58. So I'm going to take away £10.50 from 58. That leaves 5 adult tickets costing £47.50. And then if I divide by 5, an adult ticket costs £9.50. And those seem like quite sensible amounts to get for movie tickets. Okay, number 8. A plumber charges a price per hour and a fixed charge, C, and they've given us what we should call the variables here. So a 5-hour job costs £155 in total. So 5 times the number of hours plus the fixed charge, which is always just going to be 1C on its own, is 155. So that's my first equation. And 8 times the number of hours plus the fixed cost is £230. And there's my second equation. Now my C's are already the same and ready to be eliminated by subtracting, so I'm going to do equation 2, take away equation 1. That will leave me 3H is equal to 75, so H equals 25. So in other words, £25 per hour is the hourly charge. I'm going to sub in to find the fixed cost. Doesn't matter which one, sub in equation 1. So 5 lots of £25 would be 125 charged on the hourly rate, plus the fixed costs comes to a total of £155. So if we take away 125, we're going to be left with 30. So the fixed cost is £30. Okay, and number 9. Barry buys 200 pieces of stationery for £76. Of the 200 pieces of stationery, X of them are rulers that cost 50p each, and Y of them are pens that cost 20p each. Okay, now these are definitely the ones that people find the hardest, because it's not immediately obvious from that first statement how to make an equation out of these, but they have gone a step further and given us that we should call one of them X and one of them Y, so that's something at least. So we know that the number of rulers plus the number of pens is equal to 200, because we've got 200 bits of stationery. So that is actually our first equation. Now, the total cost of all of the rulers will be 0.5 times however many we buy. Okay, if you think about that, if we bought 2 rulers, 0.5, that's 50p times 2, that would give us £1. Okay, and the total cost of all of the pens will be 0.2y. Okay, and altogether that comes to 76. Okay, because they told us that this all costs £76. So a different way to word the question, not as straightforward, not as obvious in how to make your simultaneous equations, but that's why we're doing these videos. Okay, anyway, right, how do I now get my x's to be the same or my y's to be the same? Well, it definitely looks easiest to make my x's the same. I'm actually going to times this second equation by 2, and that, hopefully you'll see, will give that a 1x, or just x. And that will give me 0.4y equals 152. Let's call that equation 3. So we're ready to subtract. I'm going to do equation 1, take away equation 3. So the x's are gone. 1y take away 0.4y's leaves 0.6y. 200 take away 152 leaves 48. Oops. And to get what 1y is, we need to divide by 0.6. Okay, and you can just do that on a calculator. Or you might think that 48 is divisible by 6. So 48 divided by 6 would be 8. 48 divided by 0.6 will be 80. Okay, so we bought 80 pens. I'm going to come up here, we're going to sub in to find x. So we're going to sub that into equation 1. That's a really easy equation to sub into. So x plus 80 equals 200. So therefore we must have bought 120 rulers. Okay, and the last question on that page: in a greengrocer's, 4 kilograms of bananas and 3 kilograms of apples cost £7.50. In the same greengrocer's, 3 kilos of bananas and 5 kilos of apples cost £8.10. Right, so what we don't know here is the cost per kilogram of bananas, and we're going to call that B. And so 4 lots of that cost per kilogram plus 3 lots of the cost per kilogram of apples, which we're going to call A. We're told that that equals £7.50. I'm just going to put 7.5 for the purposes of solving the equation. And 3B plus 5A equals 8.1, £8.10. Okay, I don't have the same number of B's or A's. I'm going to try and make the B's the same. So I need to multiply to try and get 12B. And that would give me, first equation would be 12B plus 9A equals £22.50. And the second equation would be 12B plus 20A equals 32.4. Okay, and we're going to do equation 4, take away equation 3 to eliminate the B's. So that will leave 11A is equal to £9.90 or 9.9. So A is equal to 0.9. Okay, or 90p. So 90p per kilogram of apples. That's what we just found out there. I'm going to sub that into equation 1. So 4b plus, now 3 kilograms of apples, now that we've found out that they are 90p per kilogram, would cost £2.70. And that's equal to £7.50 in total. If we take away 2.7, that would leave us £4.80, and then when we divide by 4, that will give us £1.20. Okay, but the question here has a slight twist at the end. It says, how much would 2 kilos of bananas and 2 kilos of apples cost? Okay, so we need to then sub in again 2A plus 2B. So 2A's would be £1.80. 2 kilos of bananas would be £2.40. So altogether this would cost us £4.20, I think. Yeah. Okay, thanks guys.